So in our last video, we took a look at how to set up aircraft for the new feature and function in FBO Director to support our flight school module, which comes out of our legacy product, FBO Manager, that I developed back in the mid-1990s. With that experience, we've continued to build on the flight school functionality. So today we're going to look at adding pilots. So flight school, pilots. Now, before we jump in and start adding pilots, we need to first understand that each and every pilot in your universe is actually a customer. So let's take a quick trip over to customers and add a new customer. Let's go ahead and add one of my favorite astronauts, Jim Lovell. Actually, if I was going to add him, I would put it in as Lovell, Jim. We'll add his name. Hopefully I'm spelling it correctly. 123 Main Street. I can add a phone number for him and an email. And now we've set up that particular customer. Once you've set up your customers, now jump over into Flight School and begin mapping pilots to those particular customers. You can edit pilots by clicking on here or go ahead and add a new pilot. I know it seems a little redundant, but we're going to click the customer code, which will pull that in. And then we're going to add the name. You can put in a certificate for the pilot. The date of birth is going to be used to do the FAA checking to see if the pilot is over 40 or not over 40. So we're going to go back to 1974. How does that sound? And we'll make this January 17th. We'll say that his last medical was in 2017 in May. And then we'll say that the BFR was in 2018, around February. So you're going to add each of these pieces of information about the pilot. The getting certificate, and let me go back to medical. We've got basic med, class 1, class 2, class 3. You can set that up. You can add a picture of the pilot if you want. Now we choose listing. Boom. Got it. And then any other contact information can go here. This will show up and be used for dispatching as needed, and you can add that on. So I'm going to go ahead and click Save Pilot, and that pilot's now in the database. Now, you may have pilots that are actually instructors. If that's the case, just keep moving forward and click on Instructors. Now, in the prior video for setting up aircraft, please note, you have to have a product code for instructors set up ahead of time before you set up the instructor. So we created a product code called Flight Instruction. In this case, we're going to go ahead and click Add Instructor. I am not going to set up Jim Lovell as an instructor. I'm going to choose somebody else. These are the remaining pilots in my database. So I'm going to set up Otto as an instructor. Once I've set Otto up as an instructor, there's information about him, but it is worth then editing that particular instructor. And the reason is you want to designate the pricing information and you want to set up his instruction rate. So notice he's got a date of birth there that doesn't make sense, so we're going to go back and put that in appropriately. And these were defaults, so if these were not added originally, they're not going to be in the system. We've got contact information. Aircraft ratings for the instructor can then be tracked. Currency can be set up if we're going to track currency on that particular instructor. Documents. And then last but not least, the instruction information. So the first thing to do there is choose the product that relates to the instructor. That will pre-fill that, and then you'll put in his instruction rate. And in this case, I'm going to make that $49. Documents, you can actually upload information for the instructor, and you can do this on the pilot screen too, and update copies of the certificate or medical or anything else as appropriate. So at this point, we've now set up aircraft owners and instructors, which means in our next video, we'll be ready to dispatch an aircraft.